42 hours since we started this road. We're continuing our path from zero to hero on the Europe server. The system remains the same. Taking on work one step at a time by doing the step with consistency even when it gets hard. We start the week with our favorite weapon, the Curse Staff. Our second main build is spec 100, so I try a tier 5 build to be able to get more fights and also make some economy at the same time. Our first victim is a greedy carving swords that gets baited by my lowering my non-damaging gear IP. In this type of fights, first inspect the enemies and depending on how low they get, go for the dismount. With the help of some mobs, I get myself down on the carving. He is already low enough, so I manage to kill him. I get out of combat and quickly eat my soup. The bow still has 15-second cooldown as he dismounted too early, so I cash in 3 million for the bank while using a 200k build. Very good start of the week. If you don't have much spec in these items, I recommend that you go at least tier 6 on this build. I got a lot of kills this week, so it was pretty hard to decide which one was my favorite. If it's based solely on value, I'd say that these dual swords take the first place. Doing open map objectives always comes with risk. I see an arcane spiderling on the map, so I prepare to engage. I catch a juicy player while he finishes. He doesn't see me in time, so I manage to put him in combat. He eats away on my Hunter Hood as I time my full combo and robe in time. I managed to cash in 5.5 million for the bank using only a tier 7 build that you can buy order for, let's say, 500k on the EU server. Going low IP builds has its perks. Using the same tier 5 build, I catch a Cursed Skull fighting a crown boss. I wait for him to finish him but made sure to put him in combat. He dismounts me and then tries to flee. He misses his purge, so I cash in another 1.3 million for the bank. Losing a fight doesn't always mean you'll also lose the war. After a first engage with a Clarent Blade, I managed to put him in combat whilst not at full HP. He doesn't run this time, so I cash in 1 million for our bank. Once again, using the same tier 5 build. One of my favorite weapons to find in the mist or mist abbeys, the nature staff tree. If caught at the right moment, you can usually put them in combat and cash in their donation. Our case 300k. Just make sure you pay attention to the sound around while you're looking for objectives or players to kill. Tier 5 build again in action. This time against a bloodletter that get baited by my low IP. Keep in mind that with Curse, if played properly, you can kill bloodletter with 100 IP more than you easy, even if they are awakened. Regardless of how many mistakes you do, never run away from the enemy when it's low. He can come back and finish you off with his E. As he has more mobility, stand and fight. This battle I missed my W 2 times, but the enemy doesn't kite, so I get another 500k for the bank. Having the ability to overcharge always comes in handy. Awaken Bloodletter tries to cheese us but doesn't expect me to have OC with me, so he tries to run away. I manage to give him a full combo, and as I counter his build, I cash in another 4.5 million for the bank. Just keep in mind to use the laser ability. The Root or Grudge will only help the enemy escape. The gold in this game is still at around 20% discount, so I used most of the savings to buy as much as I could this week. The discount will be until it reaches 5,000 silver, so it's a good time to invest if you have extra silver. If you want some tips on silver saving and making, I could make a video on this topic, but I need you to tell me what you think first in the comments below. One of the weapons you shouldn't fight on fair IP is the Wildfire Staff. In a fair fight, and if he's using the meta build, you usually can't win. This time I'm in luck that he wants to fight me with IP advantage and also with his Marlock Cape down. Key is to time your defenses properly and roll before you W and E, so that you have enough damage to kill him through his cape. 450k for the bank. I'm currently looking for players to do some group content or dual mists and hellgates. I made a guild specifically to gather the people there to maybe make it to Iron and also get a boost in favor to the end of the season. If you want to help this way, you can join anytime. I'm pretty active myself, so we should reach this season goal before it ends. Also, if you want to become friends with me and see me in this EU journey, leave your in-game name and main weapon and any questions you have about the game in the comments below. I'll add you as soon as I log in. Fighting high defensive builds with Curse is not easy, but it's doable. All you need to keep in mind is to use Grudge instead of Laser or Root, which can also be helpful but will not win you the fights as you won't have enough damage to kill the enemy through Marlock Cape. Our next customer is an Awaken dual sword. I catch him off guard while fighting some mobs in the Abbey. He put himself in combat and I managed to follow up with enough damage to kill him. Afterwards, I got greedy and went to check a coffer that I saw earlier. Double-bladed sword lord was waiting also, so he banks 2.5 million from our inventory. Unlucky.
Is a powerful currency.
Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. While doing my usual hunting in the mist, I noticed a body right at one of the exits. Unexpectedly, the body had 1.8 million in items. Most likely what happened was that two people fought. Then a third party got in the action and went for the other guy and left his body here. And I got there before he got back. My lucky day. Another round of endeavors, an unusual build, Carrion color. He fights to poke from range, so I try to stay as close as possible. I managed to survive with 75 HP, one auto made the difference. 1.3 million for the bank. While trying to finish a crown boss for defaming the Abbey, I see a predator right next to me. I first disengage and change my spells, after which I go back and check in on him. Don't be afraid to inspect, they won't teleport on you. He's low on HP, so I engage and bank 1.6 million. Another unusual build, Kingmaker user. It's worse than a carving, although a sword, so I decide to engage even with lower IP. Just keep in mind, if you want to let him dismount you, change to Grudge and let his stack run out before your horse HP is down. 1.5 million for the bank.
We will meet again.
Our last trial this week, Awaken Dead Givers. I try to catch him off guard while he's fighting some mobs. The IP difference is too big, so I die, but at least I know my limits against him. At the moment of recording this video, I spec 100 my main build. I also spec 100 one of the trees of my secondary build for the offhands. And as I said, I also try to do some group and duo content. By applying what I know, what I learned from others, and by practicing step by step, I'll become the best for at least one aspect of this game. If you want more tips on how to win more, check out the video that I left on the right. And remember, always and forever, better support wins.